Good morning. Welcome to another chapter in our Monoxivent webinar series. My name is Brian Phipps. I'm one of the engineers here at Monoxivent. Today I'm joined by our other in-house engineer, Sam Stelzner, and our presenter today is Bud Converse. Bud joined Monoxivent in 2012. He's the head of our NORFI products division, and previously, before he was with us, he was actually the head of NORFI USA before we joined teams with Monoxivent. So he's definitely your go-to guy for all NORFI adapters, rail, trolleys, any questions you might have about this sort of material. You're welcome to ask any of us, but Bud is definitely the specialist on it. A quick overview for today's webinar. In the lower left corner of your screen, you'll find a little box for typing in chat questions. And if at any time during the presentation any questions come up, even if it was for several slides ago, don't be afraid to type those in, and we'll be more than happy to answer those. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to Bud.
Thank you, Brian. One of the things that we'd like to accomplish today is to familiarize you with the NORFI system for those of you who have not had some access to it, and also present to you some of the opportunities that are out there in the marketplace. Basically, we have three types of rail. The first one that you see up here is the TechnoRail, and that we use for the majority of automotive applications. You'll find high use in the car dealerships, motorcycle shops, small engine shops. It's very versatile, it's competitive, and you can use it virtually anywhere that you could use a hose reel or any of those types of products. The second type of rail is our ALU 150. This is used in automotive manufacturing. It can be used in heavy-duty truck shops and those areas that may require a little bit more CFM going through the system. The third rail is ALU 250. It's a little larger. That would be used for heavy-duty applications, construction, maintenance, facilities, buses, those types of areas. And with this product, we can also increase it to about 24 inches in diameter. And you'll find that that could be used on locomotives. Just to give you a little closer look of the TechnoRail, the items that you see below this under the item numbers, these are the ones that we have packed into kits. We can do virtually any lengths, but these are usually ready to go and we can ship them out in these dimensions. The same with the ALU 150, little bit bigger rail, have the same type of rail lengths, and these are done in kits which include all of the bracketry, all of the end caps, the end stops, the lip seal. It all comes packaged in one shipment. The same with the ALU 250. This just gives you an idea of the trolleys. These are the trolleys that we use for the TechnoRail. You'll notice up here in the top one, that one has a butterfly valve or a damper in it, which is used with a pull ring. Then we can come down to the next type of trolley, and that has an automatic damper in there that when you are using a balancer, it will automatically turn that damper off and on. And the third one, which is used the majority of the time, is the standard trolley. And to this, we could attach the RTS system or simple drops. And then I'll show you later on, we'll see the hose reel usage. And this is the use of the hose reels on the TechnoRail. We can use more than this on not only on the TechnoRail, but we have a little larger system that goes on to the ALU 150 and 250 over in this area. It's a slightly different setup, but it accomplishes the same thing. We can just put more trolleys on longer lengths of rails. Once again, another shot of the ALU 150 and 250 with a slightly different hose reel trolley. And here you see fume arms put on the TechnoRail, also a fume arm and a piece of ALU 150. So there's a lot of versatility with the rails. And they can be used, as I said, for source capture with fume arms or for automotive applications with simple drops or hose rails. These are the larger trolleys used on the 150 and the 250 rail, basically set up the same way, and we can use those with the damper or without a damper, and we can go up to 8-inch diameter size, which you see on this lower one on the left-hand side. We find that used a lot in construction, heavy-duty truck, school bus garages, bus maintenance garages. It works very well because we can put a lot more air through that particular trolley. Just gives you another idea of some of the different trolleys. These are, again, called the maxi trolleys because of the 8-inch diameter. And again, they're set up to have an automatic damper in it, or you can set it up with a cable and a pull ring to turn it off and on. A heavy-duty balancer. These are slightly different than the Monoxivent branded. Probably the biggest difference in here, we can get up to a little bit higher weight capacity. So if you're dealing with items or nozzles or larger hoses, this particular trolley will handle up to 66 pounds. Accessories that go along with those trolleys and with the balancer. One of the items I'd like to point out is this type of hose holder, which is a little different than putting a piece of pipe between the hoses. And this has foam on the inside, and it will not scuff or collapse the hose at all, and it works very well. And then for heavier duty hose, we have this type of hose holder. So these are available within the Monoxivent line.
Bud, we've had a question come in from Eric's. One of our reps is asking, what is the distinction between our standard Monoxivent offerings and the offerings from the NORFI product line?
Well, basically what you're looking at, we obviously have entirely different rail. On top of that, we have a lot of different nozzles, which you're going to see here shortly. So I think the biggest difference is from the old style of Monoxirail, we have larger rails, which extends out into additional applications, and we can get into even such exotic things as railroad maintenance, which you'll see a little bit later on. These are the nozzles. I think one of the biggest things is that between the Monoxivent made nozzles and the Monoxivent NORFI nozzles, I am very confident to say that we probably have the best nozzle offering and adapter offering in the business. No one else comes close when you put both the Monoxivent and you put the NORFI nozzles together. You will find a lot of the NORFI nozzles to be very competitive with Netterman that we used to sell these nozzles to. We no longer do, but you find that they're very competitive. So if you've got a job that specs out a Netterman nozzle of this type, we can probably match it up identically, and I might say at a much more competitive price. These are some different ones for high temp, different styles. Oval, used for dual tailpipes coming out. These are quick release. They're pneumatic clamping nozzles. You pump with the simple air nut on the side. You can pump it up. There's a bladder on the inside that tightens itself down to the tailpipe, and then there's, as you can see, there's a little release valve, and this just opens it back up. These are pretty prevalent in automotive dealerships. The one that you see on the bottom is for those vehicles that have the hidden tailpipes. This goes inside the tailpipe. You squeeze the handle, it'll stay connected, and it doesn't affect scratching the bumper. Some more nozzles. These are all EPDM. With non-marring clamps to put onto the tailpipes, especially those that are coming more recently that are chromed, pretty flashy. Here's some additional ones. You see the one on the bottom is a self-closing nozzle that basically sticks on and it'll close itself with a hose connection. These are plug nozzles. They will plug onto the tailpipe. Very simple, work very well, and a little bit different, but competitive in the marketplace. You can see the various sizes, also made for the dual tailpipes. Notice on the bottom, this is a Mercedes nozzle or adapter. We make this exclusively Mercedes, so if you have Mercedes dealerships, you can offer them this type of nozzle in their service areas, and once again, this will be very competitive, and it's exclusive to Monoxivent NORFI. Little bit different type, and then once again, you will see some more Mercedes for the Maybach unit and for the AMG, and once again, these are exclusive to Monoxivent NORFI, and you can service the Mercedes dealerships very well. These are exhaust funnels. The high use for these would be in stationary applications where you would hook the hose up to the back end and that these would roll in. The biggest area of use is with school bus garages with bottom-out tailpipes. They work very well, or with anyone, maybe dynamometers, you'll see where they have a lower tailpipe running out of the system. This is another type of product that lends itself very well to that application, very mobile. And we have quite a few of them. I'll call out this one here. This particular unit can be used for those types of tailpipes that are downturns underneath the various vehicles. You can slide this underneath, it adjusts up and down, and it's able to handle those applications. Like I said, the biggest use would be in school bus area. See a couple other ones, one for duals on the bottom and another type of scoop that would go underneath. Some of the market segments. There is NORFI business available in agricultural, aerospace, in the auto production, auto component manufacturing. Don't shy away from going into automotive production because we've got items that we can put in different units that will utilize themselves very well there. And you'll see this in a few slides later on. Breweries, soft drink dispensing people, bus garages, fleets, construction vehicles, defense facilities, fire and emergency stations, energy, power generation, and not without least is the vehicle repair garages. You've got some additional ones, the maritime. We have got applications for maritime use, especially in the repair areas. Locomotive repair, train stations, vehicle inspection centers, tire shops, and motorcycle repair shops. There are opportunities at every single one of these segments. Just to give you an idea of some of the things that we can do, this happens to be an actual shot of a train system. This happens to be in the United Kingdom. And these units that you see up here are automatically swing over the top of the various locomotives coming in and extract the diesel fumes from there. Here's some other pictures of, so you can see the trains up here and a bus facility. This is car production down in the center, and this is car production here. And we'll show you a few closer deals. And in the rail markets, you got automotive, car production, truck manufacturing, and same as the additional market segments where you can use these automated systems that you see the few different pictures. Here's a shot on the left. This would be a Technorail at an automotive dealership in the repair garage. Same with the one on the left. If we move over to this one, this is an automated system where it automatically will move along with the vehicle, and this happens to be in a test bay. What you see on the upper right is for car production. These are all automated. The only time that anyone touches it is to attach the nozzle to the tailpipe. Everything else is in automation and takes care of itself, going down the bay area, and then automatically detaches, and then it returns for the next car coming in. You can see some of the things used: automatic shifters, shunts, turntables. We can even use these in regular maintenance facilities if they want to set up a very exotic setup to move their vehicles in and out.
Bud, we've had another question come in regarding some of Monoxivent NORFI's competitors. What sets us apart from, say, your event or Harvey?
Well, I think the biggest difference, basically, there's two things. Number one, we have a much more heavier rail. I always like to refer to it, if a building got blown apart, the NORFI rail would still be standing. It's very heavy duty, very versatile. I think we're far more versatile than a competitor. And the biggest key for us, and you might be able to see in this picture, in these longer runs, we will use additional top duct connectors in order to balance the system. You'll find that our competitors, they do one of two things. They will use the fan on an end connection down here, and that's the only connection that there will be to set up the negative pressure. The problem that you run into is that if you have a trolley moving all the way down to the very end, that trolley will starve for air and will not be able to collect what it should. So what we do, if you can see here, there's different trunk lines coming down in the area over here. There's one in here and there's one in there. What this does is it balances the airflow out, so no matter where any of the trolleys are, you'll get the right airflow that you originally put in for the CFM and to balance the system out, and you'll have a constant airflow because each of these top duct connectors, they will handle 15 feet on each side of the rail. So you have a continuous amount of air, you don't starve any vehicles, and you will collect the 90 to 100% of the fume coming out of the vehicle. You'll find that our competitors sometimes will put one in the center, and that only does half the job. So these are the things to look for with a competitive spec, and you just need to get in touch with us, and we'll give you the ammunition to battle it. As I said, we've been pretty successful with Monoxivent in the car dealership area, and this is what you're seeing here with bays on either side, with just using simple drops or the RTS system. This is another shot. You can see how versatile it is. If they need to get out of the way, you can just push the trolleys to either end. This is a picture. I see it's a little grainy, but I think you get the idea. This is car manufacturing. This is, like I said, this is all automated, goes through the various stages once the car is energized, and then when the car is driven out into their marshaling area, it automatically disconnects, and the trolleys return back on another automated line where they're ready to be attached to the next vehicle. This happens to be run in a truck facility, and you can see where they do the repairs underneath and they check various things, and this will travel all the way down as far as you want it to. I mean, we've even seen these do a mile in various manufacturing facilities. But the trolley moves along with the vehicle until it's ready to be disconnected, and then it just will go back up out of the way, and it's ready for the next vehicle.
Bud, we've had another question come in regarding the rail itself. How can we go into detail as to how it's attached and installed, and what kind of hardware Monoxivent NORFI provides for that installation?
Let me get back to this one. Within the kits, what comes with it is all the lip seals, all the end caps, all the top connectors, and then on the top of each rail is a bracket that you put in parallel to the rail. You twist it 180 degrees, and that locks the rail in the top. What this is attached to, and is what we don't supply, is the supplemental structural steel that you would bring down from either the rafters or a joist or the roof, or even off from a beam or a column. That steel is supplied by others, and that would attach to those little brackets on top of the rail. We don't show it here, but what we have available, and we will be putting a bulletin out on it very shortly, we have additional connectors that we do sell for supporting the system that have threaded ends on both ends, which allow you to adjust the rail, to level it, to make it versatile to fit against a bar joist or something like that. So with those being available in the future, you may be able to do away with any structural steel to support the system. And as long as there's a beam or something to attach it to, these things will lend themselves very well. And like I said, we'll be putting something out on that, and they will be available in the marketplace virtually tomorrow. You can see this one's a little grainy picture again, but here we have a automated system for a train, and you can see the unit up here. The other one is over here for this type. It's one of the new bullet trains that runs in Europe and that we should see here in the US soon. Works very well, and again, that's all motorized and automated. It's another larger one. We have the capability here in Monoxivent to make these. The NORFI motorized systems are available. And as I said, there's an opportunity out there if any of you have railroad facilities where the maintenance is done. You'll find it's one of the filthiest environments around, and this can basically keep it completely clean within that maintenance facility. So don't walk away from railroad business. Just let us know, and we'll help you out to get into that market. Now, here's something that is really not, this is available as an item where we would commission the reps. This is a no contact system used in automotive production. No one touches this at all. It is all computer controlled, completely automated. Follows the vehicle throughout the time that the engine is energized after it's manufactured, and then once the car gets to its end and goes out into the marshaling area to be shipped, this will extract itself automatically back up, and it'll come all the way around to pick up the next vehicle. If you get involved in this, let us know. This is custom made. It is done per facility. And one of the most recent ones, if any of you get an opportunity, we completed one last year at the new Volkswagen plant in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's completely automated, not only with these units in the production line, but also in all their test lines. This is just another area where you show the units up here. You can see the post and the hoses coming down to attach behind the vehicles. And you'll normally find 5 to 10 of these in any given production facility, and that usually is able to handle all the units that they put out in any given hour. This is another system. If those of you would see various test areas within some facilities that you may be calling on, this is, again, this system is automated. This is all the unit here that's available. And this will swing into the back of the vehicle, as you see here, and it extracts the fumes without scratching the bumper. This is another type. You can see this one is in for the a single exhaust, and then you can see one on the other side, and then on the other side of this is a unit which would swing out to handle dual exhaust. Again, this doesn't scratch the bumper. It extracts the fumes and sends them outside. This is another type. Some of you may be familiar with this. We do manufacture these also, and you'll find these in facilities that don't want direct connection, and this is for the downdraft systems. This is not nearly as efficient. I think it'll probably capture 80 to 85% of the fume, so it doesn't quite do the job that we can get when we do the direct connection to the tailpipes. This facility here, this is kind of unique. This is in Racine, Wisconsin. This is the Racine Railroad facility where they do testing some of their various track equipment. And you can see this is ALU 150. You can see the top connection. This is the test track that they put their vehicles in and out of, and like the track changers and the units that lay the layout down, and also the small train trolleys that are moved with a vehicle that you'll see here in the background, where they use it to move cars and that around without hooking up a locomotive, excuse me. But you can see the ALU 150 here, and like I said, this is in a test facility, but it is another opportunity for those of you that want to go after that type of business. This shows you the unit and what they're have it attached to. This happens to be a track layer that they're testing. All right, one of the things as we wind down here is to make a comparison. And I think, excuse me, what you see here is I'm talking about a Monoxivent NORFI system versus general ventilation. You'll not only find general ventilation in automotive facilities, but you will find it in industry and many factories that just use large fans. And just to give you an idea, as you look at the initial investment, it's a medium thing for NORFI, and it's a higher investment due to the larger fans, the heavy-duty steel, and large diameter duct. You will see 100 horsepower fans used in car manufacturing facilities and also in the industrial complexes. So the investment is high. As we go down the list, the installation time is lower with NORFI, higher in general ventilation. The energy consumption is certainly lower with NORFI. There's very little conditioned air that's extracted. And of course, in the general ventilation areas that are just using roof exhausters, you're removing as much cooling air and heating air as you're putting back in. The other nice thing is that on the extractive airflow in a Monoxivent NORFI system, we're only looking at 275 to 350 CFM per car. You get into general ventilation and you have to have a fan in excess of 25,000 CFM. So you can just imagine the energy use on that. The effectiveness of a direct connection, Monoxivent NORFI system, we're going to get 100% of the fume. And I think the best that you could probably ask for in general ventilation at the most is 30%. I doubt if any of those places are even coming close to this. The running cost is very low, obviously using a system that's directly connected. You don't take out either heated or conditioned air. You're running with a smaller fan, so the energy use is much low. And then the maintenance costs, smaller fans, not a lot of equipment versus larger fans. It just makes for a lot easier system to use, a lot lower maintenance. All the material is right there in the area, so you don't have to get involved in ladders or very platforms to get up to do the repairs or change belts. So what's available is we have pull-up banners that are available to all the reps to use for any of your local shows. And we also have a small 4-page brochure that is available for a handout to use as a mailer or as a handout when some of your people may be making calls. And one of the things that I want to offer you is that don't shy away from any business or any type of application for removing contamination, especially in gas or diesel engines. Get in touch with us, because with our capability here at Monoxivent, we're able to do a lot of different things for a lot of different applications, and we don't want you to walk away from anything. Give us a chance to look at it and to help you out, and we're more than happy to do it. And just to end with this, I certainly appreciate your attention. You can contact me through any of these numbers or email. And if we can help you out, we're more than happy to do it. And once again, appreciate it for you taking your time. And we hope to hear from you to make some sales in the future. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Bud. And thanks again to everyone who took time out of their busy schedules to attend our webinar this month. That pretty well wraps it up from now. This webinar, along with all previous webinars, can be found on our Monoxivent YouTube channel. If you go to www.monoxivent.com, click on the Media Center tab and click Webinars, you have the ability to stream any one of these presentations for your own personal meetings or to show to different customers. Next month's webinar, which will be held on the last Friday of the month, just as all our webinars are, will be regarding fiberglass reinforced plastic products. And if any of you put questions in, we didn't have time to get to them, you had a little bit of trouble with the software, or something comes up at a later date, just like Bud said, don't be afraid to give him or any one of us in our support staff a call. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Thanks, and have a great weekend.